Billy, good morning. It's not bad out here. All right, so I'm gonna have to make a mark on this thing. It can't take that whole dimension. It'll be too weakened by that. So we're gonna have to take a amount of space from either of these sides. Let me I'm gonna put these clamps back up. While we're waiting for folks to flood in by the thousand, wishful thinking, you know. We're gonna make sympathetic curves in this combo here, and we'll probably put it through the planer, maybe not on the live, that's not too popular. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this form with the curves in it, I'm gonna make a mark, I'm gonna say down. It's gotta be like an inch down. Let me see, man, because that's about as much as it can take, I think. That is about an inch. Yeah, it's beautiful out. Obviously, this is one of my very favorite times of the year, especially like the end of August. It cools off in the south before it gets hot again. In the fall, like it gets Indian summerish, if I can say that. All right, I'm gonna make this mark this direction here, and then transpose that mark because this side's not straight or the other side's not straight. Hold on, that's not right. I need to do it from this side. Never mind that. Still warming up. 22 and 15/16. Wish it was just 23. It's gonna, at some point I'll have to have like one of these because the workbench shakes and they're gonna fall off, you know. It's my only worry. Got to build something like Wes, where the camera sticks into a relief hole. So then with the bottom side, I'm just thinking out loud. The bottom side, what I got to do is match the apex of the curve with the edge. It's going to be a little different than the top, as long as it's lined up. That should be strong enough, I hope. Don't want anything snapping.
You're talking about steaming wood, just go to Home Depot, it's already bent.
Who said that? Billy Goodwin. That is true. Rusty Hoffer. Hello. This is going to have to be flipped and transposed to the other side too. So the way we got to do that is incrementally.
Well, that's out. Oh, that's good. I want to take the bandsaw out so I can have more room for the camera. Is that not a good idea?
No, it's fine. We can move it. Is it unplugged?
Yeah.
It can't go on the stand unless I move that crap. We can move it here for now if you want. I can't sit on there. It won't. It's too heavy for that. What? Oh, I have to. Got no choice. Mess that bag up quick.
Oh, Carrie's here.
Carrie, welcome.
No law. See, this is nice. I like this stuff.
That's what it's all about.
Now we can see what's real. We don't like it. got my youngest grandson off his first day of fourth grade.
Oh, good. Congratulations to him and, you know, to you.
Yeah. No Clue Law said, hello, mate. What are you making today? I find this kind of craft interesting. Wish I could do it myself.
So what we're working on right now, who said that?
No Clue Law.
It's not showing up on my chat yet, but what we're making right now is a rail for a bunk bed, and it's going to be wavy. So I laminated these 2x4s together, and I'm taking this form that you probably can see right here. And this form is going to serve as the guide to the curves. It's the same form I used on the curved braces. And the bed rail on the bunk bed, top bunk, is going to wave like this. That's the idea. That's the concept, and I hope it works. I think it's going to work. But I have to get the curves laid out on both sides because I have to cut this by hand. Can't use the bandsaw here. That looks good.
No Clue.
Oh. You can learn, you know what I mean? Like, there's a way you can learn this stuff. Just take your time. Life is really an unwritten book, and everything, you know, just takes the first step, you know, the journey of 1,000 miles and all that cliche stuff we've heard before. All right, so that's laid out. I would call that laid out on both sides. Steve, Smoke, Steven, Steve. Boring guy, DIY, DUI. Boring guy, DIY. Yo, Dad Nation. Hey, man. And then all my nations got a shout out then. Billy Schumate said, hey, boring. Hey, don't say that, Billy. Boring guy said, hey, Billy. Steve. No Clue Lou. Appreciate the encouragement, pal. No problem, man. That's what I'm here for. You can do it. Stick around with all these folks and, you know, you'll get tired of watching me do it and you want to do it yourself. Maybe you'll get bored of me doing it and you'll want to do it yourself.
Yeah, so now it shakes and shakes a little bit of weight on it. And you'll flip it.
Oh, that's good. All right, I got to flip this and look at the other side because my three-dimensional mind is not there yet today.
He said, I have a shirt.
What?
He said, I have a shirt.
Hey, sure. This is the end of that last piece. I want to make sure I lay that out. All right, so that went up until the apex of the curve hit the side. It started from the end. And it's that way. Hmm?
I fucking timed Carrie out by accident instead of this other guy telling me to rub his
Oh, it's Carrie. It's Carrie in. Can Carrie watch?
I gave her a 4-minute timeout.
Oh no. She'll maybe forgive you, you know. Hopefully. Carrie, in 1 minute you're gonna feel like a new person. That's why we did it. We did it on purpose. We did it to you, Carrie, just to let you know you're not immune to discipline. We all have our moments. Nah, she did not do that on purpose.
And the guy made it second comment, and I was like, what the hell? Like, what? I timed him out. I was like, no, I didn't.
Timed who out?
Some guy was saying, rub my wood, so I timed him out, and then he said his second thing, and I was like, what the hell? I just timed him out. And I was like, no, I didn't.
Don't even worry about those people. Just let them be in there. Mims in the house. Mike is making stuff.
I don't know how to undo it. Maybe I can undo it from inside.
Mike, you're gonna hate this today, man. All hand tools, really, man. I can't really use my bandsaw for this. We're gonna make sympathetic curves, man. We're gonna make this thing curve. By the way, Mike, while you're in the chat, I want to commend you on your skills carving. I'm always impressed when I see you carve, man. You have a gift. It's really impressive, man. And you get so focused, and I can tell. I mean, I can just tell. Just me. Shout out Mike is making stuff. Got a great channel. Check it out. I'm a member over there. I want to lay the whole thing out first, guys. Yeah, I was like, honestly, when I was watching it yesterday, I was like, those are marketable. You could actually sell those, I think, man. Like at a craft fair, they're good. It's not like people are buying. People wouldn't buy it to make you feel better. People would buy it because it looks good. You know what I mean? Like it legit looks good. All right, here we're back to the other way on the synthetic curve. That looks a little skinny for me. I'm not super. This may be the other way though. Like, I might cut this out and see how it does and then move on to the next section. Because what I got to do up here, my brain's not putting it together right now. Too slow for this. Should be like this again. I mean, the support wood there is definitely on the scant side, I would say. No, that's right. That's the way it should be right there. Yeah, that's what it should be. I'll move the workpiece back so you can see. Oh, that's what that was. Basswood. Yeah, nice, fine grain and easy workable wood. That's what's great about basswood, man. Just gonna have to try it, man. That's all there is to it. My mind's eye had this planned out. I knew it would be a little trickier than I thought, but the key is like keeping enough support wood on here so that the thing's not flimsy. You know, I don't like building flimsy stuff. That's not my way. And then kind of the end, I'll just have to manage. What we got, Paul? Paul Moffitt. So what am I doing, Paul? What I'm doing is making a rail for a bunk bed out of 2 laminated 2x4s. It's going to be a little bit short at first. I'm going to have to find a way to elevate it up to above the mattress level. But I'm going to figure that out. I think I might make 2 duplicates by taking this piece, laminating 2 more 2x4s, and putting them against it, just using the first one as a form. And then the 2 will sit like this, like 2 wavy rails. And I was thinking about basically taking pieces of wood and I don't know whether we would call it a lap jointing them, but then gluing those lap joints together and having those in like X's and diagonal pieces. So I got an ambitious idea here. We'll see how it works. Generally, I like to execute my ambitious ideas to the finish, and then, you know, if they don't work out, then I know the next time it's not a good idea. But this was the idea, and got to try to execute it. But it's a little bit of 360-degree trickiness here. Has to be transposed on both sides too. Hey, make sure y'all know if you're a member. Love all my members, Mike, Heather. Who else is a member in here? I think that's it for now. Oh, I hope Carrie didn't get mad. We did not time you out on purpose, Carrie. Carrie's also a member. At 12:30, we will be going live for members for a few minutes. I'm going to do that every day for the next several days, just to kind of feel out, you know, how my members are doing, and just give them a chance to like hang out. Also, I want my memberships to allow you all to support your channels on an elevated level. You know, like I want y'all to that side to be to the layout mark. I want y'all to be able to promote your channels. And I know you all, some people have this idea of me that I don't like people promoting their channels, you know, to draw people away from the live. I don't, but I want to give members opportunities to do all of that. And I don't hate promotion. I'm like all about that, but it's just the right appropriate time. You know, we make sure we give you a showcase for that. Shoot, here we go, right there. That's a little bit on the. I got what it takes. Where'd my pencil go? I don't have Pilato in here to blame for losing my stuff in the shop. This is why you use knives to do these layout marks, when they follow the grain. But I really don't need that kind of accuracy, I don't think, right now. I just need to get the curve general, and I can work it by eye. Bye. Carrie said, I agree that sometimes all folks will do is put a link to their channel over and over again. It does it. Yeah. So yeah, you see that quite a bit. I don't mind. Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep either. Like, people, I believe there's a seat at the table for everybody. That's what got me into it with another YouTuber, because I was like, hey man, you ain't got to be rude. Like, there's a seat here for everybody. And the response I got from this gentleman was, no, there's not. This isn't for everybody. And I was like, all right, exclusive, Mr. Exclusive. Once I get these layouts done, you'll see it's I'm excited. It's gonna be fun. There's some knots in here that worry me though. Actually, quite a few scary looking ones. We just lost power. I think we just lost power, ladies and gentlemen. Can y'all still see me? Miss Heather's coming out to tell me. Not a good time. Well, I guess it's better today than in the biggest heat of the summer. You know. Huh? Yeah, I was worried we were drawing too much current here in the garage for a second. I'm like, oh no, we don't want to get the electrician out here, man.
Yeah, that's not you, but you heard that pop.
I did. It went boom, boom. Y'all see that? Mike said, shooting the poop will give them a chance. The theme this week is for people who come across my short I shoot today. The theme is, come tell us about your channel. That's a good theme. That's a great theme.
And then
People's favorite subject, usually. Sorry about the lighting, guys. I would usually have much stronger lighting, but we lost our power temporarily, I'm sure. No. Have to rely on the wind to cool me off out here a little bit.
Like, I'm not working right now. Oh my god.
I agree. I explain that to the folks.
Yeah.
I gotta check that other side. I forgot what I was doing over here. So probably continuing the curve right here at the end is what I'll have to do. Yeah. But right now I'm trying to figure out, okay, I got this short side here. That continues to there. We got that. All right, that's what it is. So the deeper, what I gotta do is I think that's it. I forgot already, man. My brain. 3 dimensions. Curve is going down that way, so yeah. That should be it right there. I don't even know. Anywhere on the grid, probably, right? That's the small one. This should be the big one. I just think trouble is, yeah, that's it. So I got a line. I need the apex of the curve to be there, and then wherever it is here should be fine.
You're up to 99.
Well, they like the dark lighting, huh?
Well, you still got that battery box.
Oh, dude, that's not good. Let's transpose that line real quick. It's gonna be heavy for my plinth to take here. All right, without exhausting ourselves completely, we're gonna try to cut what we got and just work with what we have here. Layout marks are on both sides. Should be able to tell from both sides what's going on. That's what it's all about, man. Mike said, my hope is once you guys see the short, try to share it, and we'll get to know a bunch of new people for the fam. I don't normally ask for that kind of stuff, but in this context, I'm sure everyone can see why. Sure. It's my tape measure. I need to make some score marks here so that I know. Actually, here I didn't continue the curve properly here. Can't see it. I'd like to clamp this down, but it's a little tricky because it's halfway off. This is the same curve. If you weren't in here, this is the same curved template that I used for my braces. So it's actually some consistency. I like to think of woodwork like music. It's got unity and variety, right? So a piece of music has to have something that unites it. This is the abstract concept, right? Something that unites the music, meaning something repeated that you can get with, has some sort of a rhythmic value or rhythmic personality to it and melody. And then something that is different, some way to break it up, some chaotic element. You know, that's just like it's better to have something bitter with something sweet. You know, too much sweet is rich, right? You have to mix it up. All right, this is the first time on this kind of a concept. We'll see how this works. I try to make it laminated in order to keep the wood strong enough, but the first one will be used to template the second one. So let's start with the end here. Might have to move the camera just slightly, just to so y'all can see what's going on. No, let's start with the top. Start with this side. I'm just gonna go across this thing with the saw and make lateral cuts in multiple places. Hope they get our power back on soon. It's gonna get awful hot out here. Carrie said, I cannot wait to see it. Have you guys heard of Sons of Legion? They are my new favorite. I have not. Carrie, can you tell me what that is? Interesting that Transform would like bust on a day where people aren't really using AC, you know? They got windows open. quickly. Gets hot quickly up in here. Yeah, we'll have to check them out. Music is the most abstract and also quite subjective on whether people enjoy or don't enjoy a piece of music. Let's move towards the fulcrum of this clamp a little so that I get more support and it doesn't shake as much. Boring Guy DIY asked a great question. He said, Calvin, do you prefer pull saws to Western saws? I'm starting to look to buy some and I'm not sure what direction to go. All right, so any saw is going to take you getting used to it. The answer to your question is I do prefer pull saws.
Wes likes the opposite.
Yeah, that's most people over here because that's the stuff they grew up using. Yeah, they were taught to their dads or someone who taught them how to saw, taught them how to use a push saw, which I was taught too, but I was never good at it. First time I got a pull saw and I started to feel out how you're supposed to use it, I was like, yeah, man, I like it. And they have less kerf, it seems like. Y'all know what kerf is, I'm sure. That's how much wood is taken out by the width of the blade. The Japanese, you're real thin steel, right? And it's softer. Mike can talk about that. I can't speak to the quality of steel as well, but yeah, I prefer the pull saws, man. I do very well with them. I could cut through a tree pretty quickly with one of these things. Ray and Sandy, welcome. And then all different types of them. I used to have a really big pull saw, like a huge dovetail saw, but it got beaten up. I've had a couple different two-sided Ryoba saws. This one I've had for years. I mean, imagine if I had a sharp one, dude. I mean, look. So as I'm pulling on my pull stroke, I'm slightly leaning down, right? So that's the way I approach it. It's probably the opposite if you're pushing. But here's the thing. If you got a big, huge, like you've got a huge bundle of something and it's on a tarp in your yard, think about this. You got a huge load of stuff. It's on a tarp so that you can move it. Are you going to pull it? Or are you going to push it? Right? It's rhetorical, I guess, but the answer for me is a lot easier to pull it. The natural inclination of stuff is pulling, like of a human. Pushing is like much less efficient, in my opinion, and with the physics a lot. I can smell Lou. I wonder if it's fully cured. That's pretty good. Make one more cut right here on the thick side down here. There's a knot near there. One of the reasons I want to. I saw that. I saw Carrie said she prefers pull.
I feel like pull saws just look easier to be more precise with.
They do, but sometimes it's one of those deals where somebody can make it look a little easier. Either one you got to get used to. I have a push saw in here I never use, but it's a crappy one. This one right here. I tried it once. I just wasn't happy with my experience. You know, that's how it rolls for me. So let's chisel some. Whew. That power being out makes a big old difference. Let's use This I just polished this. And a framing mallet. Welcome everybody. We had Alex Rowe said that saw could be a little sharper for sure, bro. Well, you can't sharpen a pull saw like this, so I would have to buy a new one. That would be my solution. The only possible solution. You're about to see sharp though, Alex. I love it when people criticize the sharpness of my tools. Stick around, Alex. I'm gonna give you an object lesson in sharp. Yeah, you don't sharpen a pull saw blade. Steel's just not good enough for it. What you got to do is you got to just get a new one. So probably it's overdue since my son used that saw and left it in the yard, you know, and all that.
For sure, bro.
For sure, bro.
For sure, bro.
Definitely. All right, 1 second, my ball joint at the bottom here is loosening. Let's do this. Flip. I'm going to tilt this back a little. This ball joint here. Yeah, saw, I don't care that much about. I'm going to do most of the work with chisels, but the saw seems okay to me, man. But, you know, everybody's entitled to their opinion and all that. I didn't do a stop cut on that side. That's why I had it turn. That's why I had it on its side. I was trying to figure out, why do I have this thing turned like this? So going right through a knot here, and then the vicinity of that knot was all more difficult to saw. Everything else was much smoother. This type of cheap wood loves to blow out too and break out, so all the more reason you need to make a stop cut. This is a Robert Sorby chisel. Dude said, let me say his name. Got C Gaming said, where did you get your chisels from? They're from different places. These came from England. This is a Robert Sorby chisel. I got a couple of these. And then some people are like, man, I've heard this story a million times. And then my other chisels are Narex chisels. Low, high end. I'm tempted to go the other direction. It feels like the grain wants me to trim the other way, and I want to move the camera, but I don't want to mess up what Heather got already because I'm basically left-handed chiseling right now. Ooh, this feels nice. Let me try with a little more precision here. I'm like backhanding this from this angle.
Yeah, it's that transformer right there.
They said what?
It's that transformer right there. That's one of the top.
Is it?
I was scared of them. I said, we don't mind them any. I was like, you probably do. That's a lie.
Oh, there's a breeze coming in.
Well, we'll have power in about 2 minutes.
Is that right?
It was right there.
Oh.
It's that transformer.
Were they over there working? Oh, I couldn't tell. I didn't hear that part.
That's why I had to get the dog and carry Benjamin inside.
All right, I'm gonna move this so that I can chisel from the other direction, okay? Because it's not comfortable for me from that way. So I need to move my camera, my phone over here.
I got this one between my legs. No, you're standing. You're at 151.
Thank you. Gotcha Game said nice. Yeah, I love my chisels. Those are my workhorse tools, man.
Oh, God, I know. I know. You're probably gonna come out.
Let's push my whole bench. We got Starby Chalet. Starby, welcome. Welcome to Dad's Workshop and the Dad's Workshop family here. Really wobbly there, the camera. This is a little bit more delicate here. Nah, Carrie said, Mike, are you off this week? I'll answer for him. Mike's at work right now. It's like, nah, I don't know if Mike's at work or not. In Mike's heart, he's a YouTuber, not a working stiff, right? So like when you're gently transitioning from one job to another. The bosses know he's on the way out. His TPS reports just don't have the same heart they used to have. No. So Mike, we need to meet with you about those TPS reports. That's the story. See, I just made that up. Jose Perez, welcome. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's all good things. I'm just joking around. It's just peripheral joking. Peripheral jokery, tomfoolery. I'm going to tell you, man, I could do this 1,000 times and it will always be satisfying. Always. Nothing like pushing a sharp chisel through some wood grain. Woodshed by Dan. Welcome, Dan. As opposed to Homestead by Dan was Mike, right? Yes. All right, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. That lathe he made was pretty sweet. I'm talking about Mike at the moment. Homestead by Dan Mike. I don't know what kind of motor he used on that thing. Mike will know. Is it a treadmill motor?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, I think so.
He might be out, Mike. When I start joking, he rolls out. You know your chisel's sharp when you set it down on the wood and it bites into the grain. See, I'm not even putting any force downward on that, right? Carrie, apologize again for Miss Heather putting you in timeout. I told her that you're really a nice person. There is a knot right here. This is going to be the trickier part of this.
Gary's just so trash talking about.
Oh, I can do that. That's when he's around, I talk. When he leaves, or when he is around, I'll be quiet. When he leaves, I'll be talking again. I don't know how that works. The joining of these two boards side to side looks really tight from here, at least from this end. So that part came out well, in my opinion. You know, I'm sure there's some snobbery out there, and people are like, his saw's not very sharp. Chisels aren't very sharp. You should really use a router. The $15,000 table saw is what he needs. Drill press. That's right, Carrie. Carrie said, my opinion is the only one that counts. You're right, Carrie.
10 points to Carrie.
Thanks. Carrie in there scoring the brownie points. All right, got a knot right here, and I'm very wary of it because I'm afraid it's going to blow out. It's halfway through the knot where my cut line is, right? So it's going to look bad right here probably while I do this. It's going to be difficult. I'm going to I might take my little bitty chisels and pulverize the knot. Remember, force applied to a smaller surface area, same force applied to a smaller surface area is going to be more force of impact. So when you want to grab a big chisel, sometimes the best thing to do is grab a small chisel and put some, break away that grain, because the knots, they make this tight grain. It's like reaction wood because the tree has to get stronger in that spot where they build a branch. And that reaction wood that comes from a branch being on the tree, because it's like a broken bone, right? So broken bones are stronger after they heal. They're harder to break. It's the same with reaction wood in a tree. Once it starts leaning and producing tighter tissue, they call that reaction or compression wood. It's much more difficult to work. The grain gets wonky, it goes in different directions. The only machines that can really deal with that, or the only tools that can deal with that effectively without even a thought, is a lathe. Like I see people lathing wood that has tons of knots in it, lots of deformations. The lathe, if it's strong enough, and the knife, if it's sharp enough, will just go right through it. But I'm gonna handle this knot with kid gloves here because I don't want it to blow out my workpiece. Siu Hu, where's that at? Siu Hu Lim, welcome. Siu Hum Lim, welcome here. Appreciate your attendance. Let's see, the knot just fell out like that, but the wood around it is tricky. Which by Dan said, gotta run. My dad locked himself out of the house. I'll be back, I hope. Well, we hope you're back too, Dan. We love to have you here. Thanks so much for being here. And hopefully your dad is not too troubled and stressed out by his door being locked out of his home. Hopefully it's not your fault. periphery of this wood, right, of this knot is going to be a little tricky. It's going to look worse than the other stuff where I was just cutting through it like a hot knife through butter. See the knot? Different, right? Woo! About to hand fan myself. Power company give you an estimate on that?
They said just 2 minutes.
Oh, really? Oh, the bugs are getting after me. Darkness washed over the dude. Oh, thank you. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo! Hallelujah. We're back. Got a splinter. Trying to bite it out before I get stuck in there. I've had a bad one. That's my technique to bite, getting splinters out now. Is biting the area where they are hard. Does that work? Is that recommended? Probably not. Wow, smooth.
How is your hand?
It's good, man. I got stuff covered up, so no nothing getting in there. Now I'm just keep it moving, you know? That's right. Ami Tim to me said hi. Hi, Amy. I'm gonna call you Amy. Thanks, Amy, for being here. Carrie, friend of the program and member, said, "Awesome. Is it your hand?" No, it's really my fingers. I've been getting splinters. I bushcrafted a kite with my son the other day, and I used Tree of Heaven because it's light and I could catch little saplings and they would be light and almost hollow on the inside. So I used Tree of Heaven as the frame, and I whittled it, and it has thorns all over it. So it got these thorns in me, and then I get splinters from doing woodwork all the time. So if you don't get them out of there, they'll fester, and then you can't squeeze anything. So what I just do is bite them. So The root system, probably you're not going to get that out without a stump grinder, you know. And those machines are expensive. You can rent one actually, some places. Uh, they are very expensive machines. So even tree removal companies sometimes don't have the really fancy ones. I mean, I knew a guy who ran a tree service and he had a like a $300,000 stump grinder that was remote controlled. Maybe they're cheaper now, but back then they were expensive. What you should do is just probiotic approach. Put some get some mulch, get some oats, soak some oats in water, and let that fungal culture grow in there, and inoculate it with fungal culture. Let the fungus do the job that a saw can't do. Just keep attacking it until it doesn't come back, really. I will help you manifesting that. We will meditate on that. Landscaping company coming to your house and then walking up to the door and saying, I'd really love to take those stumps out for a very reasonable price. That's what we're going to manifest.
They keep coming to check all that. I'm trying to change your.
Carrie said, I'm not sure if y'all have seen this channel called Uncle John. He helps people by just showing up to their homes and offering to build them a new fence or whatever. I think I've seen that. Is that on YouTube or TikTok? Mike said, woo, lunch. See, I told you it was at work. Oh, we're almost time. It's almost time for members only. Everybody become a member. We're about to have a members only at 12:30. All the action. $2.99. Less than a chicken sandwich at Popeyes. This side's a little deeper than the other side, so it's not exactly symmetrical. Let me turn that fan a little bit. It's a bit hot over here. What'd you say? Yep. In just a few minutes, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be stopping this live, but not now, but just in a few minutes. And we're going to jump into a members only live. Oh, Wes does it. Welcome. Friend of the program, member, benefactor. Wes does it.
Oh, he sent 5 memberships.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Wes. I won't do the wood clap since I know you're not a fan. Sweet. Thank you so much, Wes. Wes does it with the generosity, spreading the love, memberships. We're about to have a members only chat here and members only, not chat, members only stream here in a few minutes. Actually, very shortly. So those new members will be able to join us. I want to like spin the wheel and promote people's channels and come up with creative stuff, make people feel happy and excited about being a member and being part of the fam. You know, that's the idea here. This is a concave curve right here, rather as opposed to what we were cutting before, I think, which was convex, because they're sympathetic here. Shout out to Wes, man. Appreciate that generous gift of those memberships. Great way to start a Tuesday. Thanks. Wes said this is a good way to show that cut. Appreciate it, man. Yeah. I've got this thing with basically we're going to have sympathetic curves going. It's wavy. And it's totally experimental. I've laminated these two pieces of wood to make sure that if I was losing support wood, that the width would help add some support to it. We recently reached 1,500 subscribers. I encourage you to subscribe too. That's free. Wes recently reached 10,000 subscribers. Check Wes's channel out. That's a growing movement, fast growing. He was at like 8,900 last week, so he went up 1,100 subs, crushing it. Wes does it. Check out his channel. I wouldn't even mind if you went there right now. Go click that link. If you're a mod and you've never met Wes, which I don't think that's going to be the case. CNG, welcome. You must be a member now. Appreciate you, CNG. We're about to do a members only here in just about 10 minutes. Yeah, appreciate Wes. He's the one that donated. Somebody asked yesterday, I think it was Ray and Sandy. They didn't know who gave him the membership. I said it was either Daniel Gandara or Wes. And chances were it's Wes because Wes gave a few more. But I don't know for sure. I couldn't tell you because they don't tell you who gifted who gifted whom, I should say, in the English language. Wes is generous, man. He has been very generous and very friendly with the channel, supportive, also entertaining to watch, you know? So tricky, there's a little knot in this area. Let's get the smaller chisel. Something's giving me resistance in this spot right here. Three wood chips. Remember I told y'all, if you're unsure, from the side or diagonally. check that chat out. Wes does it says seems to be a better cut going downward. Yeah, there's like I've got some knots in here. Otherwise, I told folks earlier, I'm really happy with the way that the chisel's moving through the wood. Very satisfying so far. But y'all know I let some chips bundle up sometimes before I start going after stuff down there. Kind of lets me know my stopping point there. That's the harder part. There may be one more knot to contend with there. And right there, I want to go with the smaller chisel. I don't know how often y'all flip your chisel on the back. That's a way that you can get a small amount of material out without digging too far down into the grain, you know? Screw Doobie, welcome. Wes said that may also, let me go back here. Wes said that may also be because my chisels are chef. Well, oh, yeah. I was trying to figure out what does it mean. It means Harbor Freight. All right, we're gonna make a couple more little cuts here. Finish this side of the curve. Oops. I'm accepting of the fact this may not turn out like I wanted. I will be less upset about it if I chisel it out right and it's a design issue, you know, not a technical execution issue. Y'all see? Get to the bottom of this chat here. Wes got to roll out. Wes, see you later, man. I didn't see that in the chat either. Appreciate Wes and appreciate the donation of the memberships. Humbled, always humbled, man. And Wes has been very supportive of the channel. So same with a lot of folks. Carrie and Mike has been a member and loyal. So I'm very appreciative and humbled by all the folks in here. I just want to, and I say that sincerely. I have no problem saying that. Without y'all, I couldn't do it. Also, my subscribers, appreciate y'all too. Next step with these curves, if I'm not going to cut the rest of the curves out, is to take a long file and and smooth them out a little bit. I like to do that. It's kind of my way of getting the little rims, and I'm not going to mess with a chisel on little edges. Can y'all see? Rough stuff right here. I'm tactile, but I gotta stop putting my hand down on it because every time I do that, I get a splinter. Don't push the chisel towards yourself. Do what I say, not as I do. All right, guys. A little sandy wandy. Just to get those ridges down so they don't upset me. And then, you know, after you cut these curves honestly, then taking an angle grinder to them, I think is okay. But that's kind of what I'm looking for. It is pretty close, and I got the next curve coming here, so I think it is going to come together. Ladies and gentlemen, I got to let y'all go because I got to do make sure that you Roy's Timber Art Techniques. Appreciate you, man. Sounds like a guy I would get along with. Never know though. Make sure you double tap that like. I just did it because I like what I do. I enjoy it and I have fun. I had fun with all of you. Everybody take care. Have a great day. I may be back later. I may not. If you're a member, stick around. Well, I can't stay on here. I got to get off and start a new member. But definitely hang out. Become a member. It's $2.99. Come hang out. Roy's Timber Art says, I make wood spirit birdhouses. Great. Scoo Doobie, thank you. I'll see you all a little bit later. Take care. Do the next right thing. Make sure to subscribe. Join if you have the funds. And we'll see you a little bit later.